Yo, what is going on, boys? It's your man back for a long-awaited figure review. In my personal opinion, these are the greatest figures of all time, ever created, ever known to man, of the best characters ever created, ever known to man. Dirtbag and Groundchuck. Now, these figures are from the Neca TMNT line, the classic 87 cartoon. And these were kind of the first figures that really got me into this line. And that's why, in my opinion, they're tremendous. I cannot lie, they are not the best of the line. And the characters are not the best ever created. They're just kind of funny. And that's why today I bring you this sweet review of these tremendous figures. Now, getting these boys out of the way, we'll start it with the box quick. Of course, classic NECA cartoon box. This thing is huge, so I gotta give you the real up close. Scrape it against the wall to show you. There's the side art of Dirtbag. I'll give you the Groundchuck side, just to be fair to the gentleman. And then much more reasonable back of the box shots. Like usual, some really nice art on these. The only problem I'd say I have at all with these boxes is the cardboard is kind of a little cheap or flimsy, I'd say. So in the store, so one time I saw a dude that dropped one, the literal whole corner of the thing was caved in. It was rough. Like if they're dented at all, they're done. Now, bringing the boys back in and bringing them in for some paint and sculpt details. The details on these two are just great. We'll get this out of the background for focusing purposes. I think they got the look of the guys from the cartoon pretty much perfect. Of course, in the cartoon, they tend to go off model every now and then, so there's no one true accurate depiction of these characters. But I think for what NECA had, they did a very good job, and they got all the core details of these guys to get the real feel of them. Now moving my boy Groundchuck out the way to bring Dirtbag in. Dirtbag, of course, is my preferred character. I think the better figure is Groundchuck, though. I think the design for these guys, great again. All the details is awesome. They did a really nice job on the fur effects on both of these guys. Paint, as always, is really good. And sadly, my couple of figures, I had a few QC issues on these guys. Both of their right arms, this arm was frozen straight out of the box, and both of their heads are still kind of sticky. So I guess if you buy these guys, don't buy them off of eBay. Find them in the Target trenches, because you'll probably find one with better QC and even better paint. Now, moving these mans for some articulation. The articulation is quite similar on both of them, so I think I'll only do Groundchuck for you gentlemen tonight, just to save some time. We get a little quick. At the head, he looks up, pretty decent. It's the usual double ball peg situation going on in there, so you can get a lot of nice movement out of it. Of course, like I said, they're quite sticky still, so the heads don't have the best articulation. And with Groundchuck here, he's got kind of a lot of sculpt going around, so it inhibits articulation, if you know what I'm saying. At the mouth, of course, a little bit of jaw articulation. It doesn't move that much, but it gives you enough to give him a very nice range of expressions. He could be like, or maybe he's yelling at him, yo, the turtles, I'm Groundchuck. Good character, great episode. If you have not seen it, please do. Going to the arms here, at the shoulders, they move around, but with his shoulder pad situation is a little inhibited. Nice rubbery plastic, no need to worry about anything going on there. Again, get the shoulders, twist them up nice. Really good range of movement on the shoulders. All the sculpt and everything, and the paint goes crazy, so it's going to be rough moving all the articulation. If you haven't heard it already, everybody who knows NECA knows the oil joints, the Tin Man, moving it, working it, creaking it. I don't think they're that bad. Get some hot water or a heater or something, you'll have no problem. But yeah, again, just be careful. The bicep, nice swivel over here. Again, a little inhibited. The man's got some big tries. Lift it up, twist it. At the elbow, nice double joint. Works to about maximum range you could get. Too big of arms again. Groundchuck is beefy. At the wrist, same old usual wrist thing. Just a swivel and a hinge going up and down. Works pretty well. And again, with everything, there's a lot of paint in the joints, so everything's going to be a little rough out of the box. But if you work it, it goes good. Now, going for the chest articulation here. He has a nice double ball peg with this whole top being a piece, and then the little stomach area being another piece. So you can get some really good crunch out of him, which is really good for all his charging poses. You can have him getting beat up real good, getting oof. And then again, it's nice on the joint, so you can get all types of articulation and movement out of it. At the legs here, next to his nice skirt, The kick forward, not too bad. The paint on this guy, especially white on NECA figures, is very, very fragile. So don't go too crazy moving it. Or you're going to have blue on your white. And that ain't it. It goes out to the side nice. At the thigh, there is a nice little swivel. You can see the joint in there is a little bit miscolored, but it's probably just because it doesn't have any paint on it, so not that big of a deal. At the knee with his bullseye knee pads, you can see not too bad of movement and his weird legs. They work pretty good. You could definitely push everything more, but again, like usual, don't go crazy. At his hoof, goes forward kind of far. Back, not too bad. And then the pivot is not the worst. It gets inhibited by the fur all around it, but not the worst. Works for very good standing up, no problem balancing this guy. Very hefty figure, so that having decent articulation and kind of big flat feet works very well for him. And he balances well. Even on one foot, I've had him charging, and it looks really good. Now, bringing Dirtbag in, just to say a couple of things. A couple of notes. Shoulders probably work much better than there. The biceps, again, this bicep was frozen. The head is frozen. Dirtbag, he comes with an accessory, his little dirt mound here, to rip him in half. I only ever did it once, and I heated him up, and it was really, really rough. I do not recommend to do that very often, but it's not too bad. It works well, and it looks pretty decent, just to get that out of the way. When he has his backpack here, it is actually, openable. You can stuff some goods in there. I don't know what you would be even putting in there. He doesn't really have any accessories to put in there, but it still looks nice. A little bit of added accessory, little nice. Then at the foot, he has a regular shoe on one foot that actually gets very nice articulation. Other than that, the articulation is pretty much exactly the same between these two boys. The mouth does open a little bit more on Groundchuck, or Dirtbag, sorry. The problem with these two is this guy looks like he'd be called Groundchuck. This guy doesn't really look like he'd be called Dirtbag. He kind of fits with both names. Groundchuck, I don't know. Kind of like Groundhog, you know, Chuck, like Chuck, I don't know. Moving on. The accessories here, we'll start with, they both have some similar accessories. Like I said, Dirtbag has his little ring here, his little dirt mound. Looks really good if you have him crawling out. And it's a nice way to add some, I guess, depth to your display. Depth. You can add some depth to your display by having a on-the-ground figure, you know, he's popping out looking like he's digging. Maybe add some underground effects. So both of them have a pistol-type weapon. Here is Groundchuck's. You can see it's like a rattlesnake bull gun. I don't know what it shoots or what it even shoots at all. I don't think it shoots anything, but it looks very cool. A lot of nice detail on it, and the sculpting, again, tremendissimo. I love the little saddle on it. Now, Groundchuck's gun here, I think I said Groundchuck again, Dirtbag, sorry. His gun here is a little something, I don't know. Again, nice paint sculpt on it. Don't really know what these do. Don't know if they've ever even been used in the cartoon. But, you know, you do what you do. Another accessory kind of like that. This little remote here does something. Probably a teleporter, some sort of shredder gadget. The Krang probably produced this. Doesn't really matter, though. Now we're moving on to some better accessories. Here we have Dirtbag's shovel. Now, the only problem with this, and you can even see it if I make it focus, there's really bad paint rub with this. It's a little bit too long, a little bit too gray. I'd say the color is too light for it to sustain paint rub. So it really, really scuffs bad. All you have to do is kind of pry the hands open when you put it in, and it works well. But, you know, for the time being when I did it, I did not know that. So that's what you get. Do not mess with these NECA figures, especially with accessories when they have very, very tight hands. It doesn't work out well at all. Now, another Dirtbag accessory that's very nice is his fat drill here. This is probably the best accessory the 2-pack comes with, and I really like the detail on this. It's got great sculpting. You can see they even put the screws in. Nice detail on that. The drill looks really good. A nice shape on that sucker right there. Not too bad with the sculpt lines, I guess you'd say. But not bad at all. Paint's very nice. Sculpt is very good. And it really is a great accessory to give to Dirtbag. It really looks good because you can have him with this on the ground. You can have him tunneling into it or tunneling out of it with the drill. Whatever you get freaky with, you can get geeky with it here with Dirtbag. And Groundchuck too. His accessories, a little worse, but I'd say he's more of a fist kind of guy. I don't think you'd really give him a weapon or anything anyway. Now, zooming out, because these are quite large figures, to give some scale, we'll bring in the comparisons. We're going to need some big room because these are some big, thick boys. Now, starting them off, with another duo of stupid mutants. Well, Dirtbag and Groundchuck aren't that stupid, but a duo of stupid mutants here. Bebop and Rocksteady. Oof. You can see the scale. These guys are quite large, quite hefty. They're not as tall as their Bebop and Rocksteady. I'm going to be mixing up names left and right this whole entire time. They're not as tall as Bebop and Rocksteady, but they still have the same girth to them, I guess you could say. Very nice scale. And as usual, they fit very nicely with all the rest of the cartoon NECA figures. They all have that same look to them. Now, bringing in some other partners in crime. We got the Shredder himself, Orokusaki, and old boy Krang in the android body. Has anyone played Shredder's Revenge recently? Very amazing game. Should have put that a little bit earlier in the video, but it is Shredder's Revenge, amazing game. That just made me think of it. Sorry, boys. Again, they appear in it, look very good in the game, but fits great with these guys. As usual, this is the kind of their habitat, I guess you could say. Put them in the Technodrome and they'd be like home right now. But other than that, great fit, like usual with the NECA figures. Gives them scale again. Not the largest in this line, but also not the smallest. Now just some more basic comparisons, just for Ninja Turtle fans out there. Got the SH Figure Arts Leonardo, and then the NECA Raphael. Good scale, again, fits nicely. They look very good with the turtles, and having them posed up fighting, great time. I enjoy doing that very much. I've done it a few times in my day. And now, right off the bat, because I forgot I didn't just do generic comparisons, we'll bring old Freddy Fazbear in from the side. And for the gentleman in the back, Ghost Rider, let's go. Again, these figures in general, I'd say quite hefty, big guys. I'm not sure if the NECA cartoon is 7-inch. I'm pretty sure it is 7-inch. And they really show it. Like, they give these guys the buff and the bulk they need. And on your shelf, again, looks great. The colors these guys have, especially Groundchuck with his big, I don't even know, bullseye. I'm not sure what those are even called. I'm guessing bullseye would make sense for the funny meme of it. But they have a lot of color, a lot of pop. And even in the Ninja Turtles display, around all these creeps, they look really good, stick out, and definitely look like Dirtbag and Groundchuck. Now, ooh, I just hurt the Ghost Rider. I'm very sorry, Johnny Blaze. But that's it for the comparisons of the boys. Some final thoughts on these guys. I'd say these two are some of the best cartoon NECA figures. They're kind of easy to find. If you were to go to Target, there's a decent chance you'll find one there. It probably won't be in the best condition because they've definitely been sitting for a long time, but I see them around every now and then. And I'm also very tempted to pick up a pack to keep in the box, which I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm a Dirtbag Groundchuck head like that. I'm a big fan. So, as I was saying, they're not too hard to find, and even on eBay, if you were to go and get one secondhand off of some scalper or something, they're only like 70 bucks, which is like 10-15 over retail, but that's not even that bad. I think they're definitely worth it, especially if you're a big TMNT fan. These guys are some iconic villains. They don't appear that much. They're only in a few episodes here and there, but they make their impact. They take a chance, and they're good. I took a chance on Groundchuck. It worked. I couldn't think of anything that would work there. I'm sorry, boys. That is it for this video. I actually gotta say, it turned out time-wise pretty nice. I noticed the longer videos, I don't know if people don't like them, but I don't even like them. I like to make my videos a little bit shorter. Nice, quick 1-2 Groundchuck punch. A little bit of a dirtbag moment. Sorry about that. So, that's all. I really like these figures. Definitely a recommend. If I had to give them a scale 1 to 10, I'd probably say 11 out of 10. Maybe a Dirtbag out of a Groundchuck. But I'm done. I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I have a whole buttload of TMNT stuff I have to get to. New and old. So who knows what the future may hold. But I'll see you guys then. Have a good day, night, evening.